This past weekend, Vienna Challengers Arena 2023 went down in Austria, and it gathered all sorts of European talent from across the continent to come out and compete. And while this tournament was a fantastic display of EU talent across the board, one thing stood out as the most notable thing from this tournament. It's the fact that not one, not two, but three separate R.O.B mains, all representing different countries, made top 8 at VCA 2023. If you thought 2 R.O.Bs at low tier city was a lot, dear viewers, you ain't seen nothing yet. Today we'll be going over these 3 R.O.B mains at VCA 2023, going over their runs to top 8 and seeing how they did in top 8. R.O.B might not be the favorite character of the community, but if R.O.B is your favorite character, then oh boy, this is the video for you. Just a reminder before we begin that if you want to support me monetarily, you can do so by using the links to my Patreon or channel memberships in the description below. With that out of the way, let's reveal the 3 R.O.B players we'll be talking about today. The players, in order of seeding going lowest to highest, is Sintro from Austria, the country where this tournament took place, Longo from Germany, who I've covered before on the channel, and lastly MK Big Boss from Mexico, who was invading Europe at VCA 2023 for a chance to take home the crown for himself. We'll be covering these players in order of seeding, lowest to highest, starting with Sintro. Sintro came into the event as the 6th seed, the highest seeded Austrian player, the country where this tournament took place. Sintro started off the weekend by getting through pools, first defeating Reku 1-3-0, Asna in a close Game 5 set, and Daramad 3-1 to make it out of pools, with Sintro's Game 5 versus Marth main Asna notably being streamed.
Se puede complicar tanto de que Sintro se lo puede acabar llevando.
Vamos a ver, porque tiene 117 jugadores austríacos, que sabe que tiene solo una oportunidad. En el momento en el que Asna consiga cualquier interacción buena, se va a llevar las stocks. Ese backer va a ser suficiente. Ese backer va a ser suficiente. Sintro que cancela ese upset, que consigue de castigarle, busca el downer, espera muy bien. El segundo que golpea, muy buen tech por parte de Daramad, que sale un poquito. Y bueno, vamos a ver la presión ahora de Sintro, porque podría llevarse la partida en la siguiente interacción. El backer buenísimo ahora de Daramad, sacando una última moneda, un insert coin que se le va a acabar.
Once out of pools, Sintro had a close Game 5 set with and defeated Longo, and let me tell you, I am so sad this set wasn't streamed, as it is the only time that any of the 3 players that we're covering today would fight one another. Either way though, Sintro made the upset over Longo, making it into top 8 winner's side, where Sintro would have to go up versus Lancelot, the best player in Finland and debatably the best Chrom in the world.
Wieder den Gyro. Und R.O.B ohne Gyro ist ein halber Charakter für manchmal. Diese Gyro ist manchmal besser als gewisse Charaktere. Ja. Okay, das killt mich. Oh, es killt actually. Damn, okay. Ich war kurz vor dem Cross-Up-Back Air mit dem Gyro.
However, unfortunately for Sintro, this set would result in a 3-1 loss, with Sintro dropping down into loser's quarters to face off versus Yaka, the best player in Switzerland and debatably the best Isabel in the world. Deja vu, I feel like I just said that sentence. Either way, the 2 of them threw down in loser's quarters.
Ready.
Aber schwierig, das Game hat ja eine 180 Grad wieder gewendet einfach.
Wichtiger Laser.
Muss
Vor der
aufpassen,
Ampel.
Und das jetzt?
Ja, das
Oh, Jab, Down Smash, und er wirft den Sintro aus dem Turnier mit einem 3:1.
But unfortunately for Sintro, Yaka would take the set in a 3-1 victory, moving on in bracket and with Sintro being eliminated at 5th place as the 6th seed, the highest placing Austrian player at VCA 2023. Don't worry, the other 2 R.O.Bs we're covering will have more VODs than Sintro did. Longo is a R.O.B main from Germany and is one of the country's best players, who came into the event as the 3rd seed. Longo started off the weekend by getting through pools, defeating Nakeman, Nero, and Sansi, all in 3-1 victories, with Longo having 2 of these sets streamed. The first was versus Nakeman, but Longo was playing his secondary Joker and not R.O.B, so who cares about that set, am I right? The second set that was streamed was his set versus Sansi, where Longo actually went R.O.B versus Sansi's Yoshi.
Que le ha cargado 3 Arsens.
Le ha regalado el Arsen completo. Esto es bastante mal, a ver cómo vuelve de aquí. Ya está, de aquí.
La respuesta no.
De aquí ya no sale. De aquí ya no sale, pues nada, el Longo que está muy cerca.
Fíjate que el 88% de un R.O.B que ha visto cómo le cazaba con ese downer. Vamos a ver otro downer ahora. Buscaba el downer otra vez ahí. Bueno, pero ¿cómo ha conectado eso? Golpe? ¡Qué backer más feo,
After this, Longo moved up into top 16, where he lost in a Game 5 upset versus Sintro, like we just discussed. This meant that Longo dropped into losers, starting his losers run by defeating Pfeiffer, notable Swedish talent and Joker main, in a 3-0, in order to make top 8 losers side.
Okay.
Oh, Custom, okay.
Custom Combo.
Sort of Custom Combo.
30%.
Ein bisschen auf spontan gemacht hier. was ich von Pfeffer hätte ein bisschen mehr sehen wollen, ist zum einen nicht dieser Jump, nicht diese...
Das war so ein Read aller Reads.
Longo was now in top 8, first defeating Bowser Main's Santro in a 3-0, a set that sadly wasn't streamed as only top 6 was streamed, not top 8. After this though, Longo had to go up into losers quarterfinals versus fellow German and Paisy main Robin GG.
Da hat der... Oh, das war ein Österreich-Punish eigentlich. Sehr schöner
Wieder
Bash.
insane Match.
Ja, das ist ganz wichtig. Abwehr ganz ja.
Da
Hat er aber
kommt die
auslassen
verzögerte
einfach.
Backhand.
Ja, da hat er einfach Bahn.
And ultimately, Longo won this set 3-1, moving into losers semifinals to go up versus Yaka, who had just defeated and eliminated fellow R.O.B, Sintro, like we just discussed.
Aber es ist jetzt...
Mit der Rage killt vieles von R.O.B.
Ja,
da
er
muss
braucht
man echt aufpassen.
Es könnte Grab killen, es könnte... das tut jetzt gut, so 30% jetzt gut, glaube ich.
Die Range killen halt die Pellets von der Scheinsteuer aber nicht. Oh nein.
Das könnte sein. Up-Smash und kein Mesh, gar nichts.
But in the end, Longo avenged his fellow R.O.B main and defeated Yaka 3-0, moving into losers finals after entering top 8 from losers side. Here, Longo would have to face off against Lancelot, who had also defeated Sintro in winners semis like we discussed earlier.
Jetzt mit 90% Deficit. Ein Lancelot Face Expression. Hier gerade das Comeback.
Und die Fair reicht aus.
Kills
Und
Lancelot
macht
das
das Comeback.
3-0 Comeback. Was für ein Wahnsinn.
But ultimately, Lancelot would defeat Longo in a close Game 5 set, the first time Lancelot has ever beaten Longo, moving back into Grands and eliminating Longo at 3rd place as the 3rd seed. Now it's time for us to look at our final R.O.B main, MK Big Boss, the invading R.O.B from Mexico, who truly needs no introduction. MK Big Boss entered VCA 2023 as the 1st seed, starting off the weekend by getting through pools flawlessly, defeating Yeety Slayer, Dobby, and Mario, all in 3-0 set victories, with Big Boss's set against Dobby notably being streamed.
Casi lo termina, pero no, de momento Dobby se sigue resistiendo, está haciendo lo imposible por intentar al menos quitarle esa primera stock, pero es que Big Boss, míralo, está tranquilito. Ya está.
La salva el Gyro, el Gyro la salva de... ¡Wow! ¡Madre amor hermoso lo que le acaba de hacer!
MK Big Boss now moved into top 16, where he would have to face off against Yeety. MK Big Boss had already defeated Yeety Slayer in pools, but now let's see how he does against the Yeety himself.
Er wünschte, seine Killmoves würden connecten, und er wünschte, sein Up-Smash wäre nicht stale von dem letzten Up-Smash, den er getroffen hat, der auch nicht gekillt hat. Okay.
Oh,
okay. Einfach in ihn reingerannt,
der
der war
ganz
so...
schnelle Run-Up.
Ja.
Oh,
Du wirst eh nicht
so
Setup
knapp,
Attack machen.
so knapp.
Ja.
Ultimately, MK Big Boss defeated Yeety 3-1, making it into top 8 from winner's side, where MK Big Boss would have to face off versus German Paisy Robin GG.
Ab wieder hinterher setzen kannst.
R.O.B hat gute Shit-Power.
Ja, das ist ja jetzt so.
Keine Fehler laufen.
Jetzt kann er maximal getroffen werden von so einer Näher, ja, aber jetzt wird der ganz knapp. Okay, das fehlt ab so auf die Plattform und das nimmt es und wo wird das Game?
And in the end, MK Big Boss defeated Robin GG in a 3-1, moving into winners finals versus Lancelot, who was fresh off of defeating Sintro in winners semis.
Und der
Sehr schön, aber leider Sour Spot. Oh, wo geht jetzt Lancelot hin? Oh ja, das ist schwierig.
Kommt er raus?
Oh ja.
Raus! Und er wird
einmal.
gegrabt jetzt mit der Up-Throw.
Ja, oder?
Das war...
And ultimately, MK Big Boss defeated Lancelot 3-1, but Lancelot wasn't done just yet, as Lancelot defeated Longo in losers finals in a Game 5 set to move back up into grand finals for one more shot versus MK Big Boss. One last hope to defend Europe from both Mexico and from R.O.B.
Was macht Big Boss? Okay, ja. Empty Hoff. Abwehr. Oh, geht die Down. Er wirft natürlich Offstage und der Gyro ist an der Ledge. Big Boss muss nichts machen. Der Gyro gewinnt einfach für ihn. Oh, und der Laser und... Oh, ja, ich weiß nicht, ob dazu kommt. Ja, und der Downer und Big Boss gewinnt. VCA 2023 mit einem 3-0.
But in the end, MK Big Boss defeated Lancelot 3-0, eliminating Lancelot at 2nd place and becoming your champion of Vienna Challengers Arena 2023 as the 1st seed. R.O.B was truly in full force at VCA 2023, and while R.O.B isn't the community's favorite character, allow me to play devil's advocate for a minute. Lancelot is the player who played against R.O.B the most this past weekend, and maybe fought the most R.O.Bs a single player has ever fought at a tournament of this size, having a total of 5 sets versus R.O.B mains at VCA 2023. However, Lancelot said it best when they said that R.O.B truly is a versatile character, and almost every way of playing him works. Lancelot, having played so many R.O.Bs back to back, truly was witness to how differently people play the same character, saying it was quite hard to adjust between each of the R.O.B mains. Say what you will about his gyro or down tilt or touch of death combos, but don't get me wrong, R.O.B is my least favorite character to fight in the entire game. But even I have to take a step back, look objectively, and say that there is definitely something really cool about this character, and how every single person plays him differently, like a fingerprint or a signature. And as lame as R.O.B can be sometimes, I think that aspect of him is really dang cool. That's going to be it for today's video. Before I go, shout out to my patrons Seth Lasser, Fosco333, and my tier 2 patrons Iltis and Diamond Blaze. Additionally, shout out YouTube members Stormtrooper, Logo Soko, Mattoon, Diarrhea, Dejo Jr., Defective, Neo, Orangabang, and my tier 2 members Mike G and Wu-Tang Forever. Tomorrow I'll be making a video on Sumobato SP42, but until then, I've been Mr. Mice, and thank you all so much for watching.